Hey everybody, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today's episode 126 of the brand new Coffee and Comic Show. And as you can see, I'm not alone. I got my good friend... Wait a minute. I got my good friend Jennifer here with me. Well, this is weird. This is weird. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for having me here today.
I'm excited to have... Here's the thing. Bob is on his 89th wedding anniversary with his wife. So he's out of town for the weekend. It's like 110 degrees. He's hanging out on the beach in his thong bikini. I know he is.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it before. It's gross.
Mrs. Bob, can we get pictures?
There we go. I think I might have had some. She sent some to me earlier. So anyway, we have Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart filling in for Bob. And I want to say thank you, Jennifer, for showing up today. Yeah. If you're not familiar with her channel, what's the channel name again?
Comics Will Break Your Heart. For anyone who doesn't know, that is an attributed Jack Kirby quote.
There you go. And she is a transplant from Florida, and she made it all the way down here to Portland just for the show. No, she actually moved here a while ago. And it was pretty funny because I remember seeing her on Instagram, and I was like, man, she looks like she's in front of my LCS. And sure enough, she was at Thanks for Another World. Mm-hmm. And I think I messaged you. I just said, are you from here? Oh, yeah, I just moved here into Portland or whatnot. Yeah. And I'm like, you are made for Portland. You are totally made. I've been to Florida. I love Florida. Yeah. But you are made for Portland. How do you like it here so far?
You know, I came here partially to escape the heat, and I brought a lot of heat with me. It's a pretty hot weekend here in
It's a record-breaking weekend here in Portland. It's literally like 113 degrees.
There's a heat dome, apparently.
Yes.
So I thought I escaped that. Otherwise, I absolutely love it here.
There you go. Well, sorry, you're stuck.
Yeah.
But you know what? We always start off with the coffee that we're drinking. And we normally drink coffee from a Mocha Express. But we didn't get Mocha Express today. We actually have coffee from Comics on Coffee, and you're drinking the Lightspeed. We put some ice cubes in this. How is it?
Yeah, it's great. Because of your show, I had actually ordered a couple bags of the Comics on Coffee, and I hadn't tried this one yet. So
did you use the Bueller code?
I did use the Bueller code.
15% off. There you go.
Love it.
I love it too. Have a sip. I'll take a sip of mine.
Delightful.
It's wonderful. And look, there's a bag, Lightspeed, right there. And guess who that's for? That's for you. There you go. So now you can take it home, try it, and there you go.
That's awesome. I can't wait to have, I usually do a, not a cold brew, but I'll do a French press.
Yeah, so, there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah, the girl who does all the brewing, she's the one who does all the artwork, too. She does little comic strips on the back and all the artwork. She does prints and everything. But yeah, you can go to their website, Comics on Coffee, enter that code Bueller, save 15% like Jennifer did, and like a bunch of people did. So you're welcome. Yeah, and it's great coffee as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, right on, right? Good coffee.
I ordered 2 bags, and I already finished one of them.
Nice. Yeah. Very cool. I'm glad to see the code is working.
It is.
Let me just go ahead and do a quick rundown of the show really fast. Right now, we're going to start off with some announcements and thank yous. Then we'll go to our first 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. We'll have our topic today, which our topic is the best indie books out right now and some that are overlooked. And trust me, Jennifer knows a lot about independent books. She does a weekly show with her friend Mars, and they cover all the books, but mainly, let's just say independent books is kind of your forte, right?
It really is.
Yes.
Yeah. When people ask me, because I feel like when they start asking me about comics, the question is usually Marvel or DC, and my answer is always independent books.
There you go. That's why she's here today, and the fact that Bob's not here as well. And then we'll go on to our final 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. And then we'll go to our Robbie's Pick of the Pick and Pick the Pick, with all that thing with the nose pick or whatever. You can see in the graphics. It's a lot of fun. We also have our Honest Comic Book Mystery Box Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a mystery box by TFTV Comics. It's an Instagram seller or whatnot, so we're going to be looking at that. That's brought to you by Scout Comics. And then we have our Was It Good segment. We'll talk about some books that we've read this week and tell you what we thought. And then after that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up and all that good stuff. So sounds like a pretty good plan?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so let's go ahead and start off with some thank yous. And first off, I just want to say thank you to our newest Patreons that we have. And I'll just go ahead and run them down. We have Casey Jernigan, thank you. Garrett Whitford, thank you as well. And Man Bear Pig is also a Patreon member. So thank you to all our new Patrons and thank you to our current Patrons. If you want to join our Patreon, it's $3.99 a month, the price of one comic book a month. If you think I'm worth one comic book a month, if you think Jennifer's worth one comic book a month, if you think Bob's worth one comic book a month, feel free to join our Patreon. I also want to say thank you to our people who have done super chats over the last couple of weeks, to be honest, because we've been really busy. We did a lot of live shows at the Washington State SummerCon. Guys like Thomas Jackman, two brothers, bunch of people. So thank you so much for all those people who've done super chats. The guys from Dynamite Comics, they sent us like $100.
Oh, wow.
Which was like, oh, thank you, Dynamite Comics. They want to do exclusives with me and stuff like that. That's one way to butter me up, I guess. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah, get one of those covers.
Yeah, I said, I'll do a cosplay one. How about that?
There you go.
I like the cosplay
Dress
ones.
up like Vampirella.
I can pull it off. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't sell many, but I can pull it off. It'd be kind of fun. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
And also, a couple really quick announcements. And the first one that just came up today, and Jennifer doesn't even know this, but the first one is, I could be doing an interview with someone on Wednesday or Thursday of this week, and someone I've always wanted to do an interview with. Yeah, it's Rob Liefeld. His agent literally just reached out to me this morning, and because I just talked with Jim Starling last week, and Jim Starling and him have the same agent. Rob Liefeld has a couple new books coming out. He wants to talk about them. He reached out to me. I said, I'd love to have him on the show. We are working out what date, either Wednesday or Thursday. And so it looks like I'll probably have Rob Liefeld on the channel. Or he'll find out who I am and I'll say, nope. That could be the case.
This guy.
Not that guy. So anyway, maybe the agent's not aware of that part. But anyway, that might be happening this week. So I just want to let you guys know. Look out for that interview either Wednesday or Thursday. Or if it doesn't happen, then nothing at all. So. But if it does happen, that's one of my icons. I've always wanted to talk to him. Never met him before, never talked to him. So I might get my chance on Wednesday or Thursday.
Maybe you can see if he can commission your cover for Dynamite. Maybe he can do an exclusive Rob Liefeld Dynamite cover.
Maybe. I don't know if he'd want to do that, though. It probably costs a lot of money to get Rob Liefeld to do a cover. But speaking of exclusive covers, thank you. This is a great segue. Well, did you plan that?
Uh-huh.
Because the next one
I do my research because I'm a professional.
There you go. I have a brand new exclusive comic coming out. Here's the thing. It's my first Marvel comic ever. And it's a pretty big deal for me because it's a Marvel comic, you know. Moon Knight #1 is my very first Marvel exclusive. The best thing about this, I'm partnering up with Bird City Comics to do this. They are handling all the shipping, receiving, logistics, and everything for me. I don't have to do any of that stuff because I'm not good at that stuff. My way to get a book from me was literally send me an email, and I'll send you an email back, and I'll send you another email, and then we get it paid for. They have a website that you just go to and click on it and buy it, and it shows up in the mail. So thank you, Bird City Comics.
Thank you, Bird City.
Exactly. This is going to be going on pre-sale on July 3rd, and later on this week I'll be showing you a picture of what the cover is. It's by the artist Yoon, which I'm a big fan of that artist. There's a bunch of covers he's done that I really enjoy, and you know what? It looks pretty good. So I'm excited to get my first Marvel exclusive ever, and I'm excited to have it be a Moon Knight comic as well.
Moon Knight.
So, yeah.
That's exciting.
It's a big deal. Brand new #1. Moon Knight. Comics with Bueller, Bird City Comics. I don't have to do anything. It's perfect.
That to me, like just not having to deal with any of like shipping, that would be, it could be anything. And
Yes.
I'd be like, if I don't have to like have my hands too much in it,
Yeah.
someone else.
And they handle shipping to Canada and stuff as well, which I'm horrible at that. So, I mean, the less stuff that they take off my plate, and they do, it's a match made in heaven. So thank you, Bird City Comics. Thank you, Moon Knight. Thank you, Yoon. Thank you, all you guys, for making this happen, for getting me my first Marvel exclusive variant cover. And there'll be two different, there'll be like the Virgin one and the regular trade dress one. There'll be different prices. All that information will be available on the 3rd of July when it goes on pre-sale at birdcitycomics.com. So I'm very excited for that. You know what? That's it for the announcements. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into our first segment, which is our first 5, brought to you by Bird City Comics. And do you want to share 5 comics with us there, Jennifer?
I do.
Right.
So I picked 5 of books that I just randomly recently got. I made sure that it wasn't any, that they're all tasteful. So
we don't do tasteful here.
Oh, okay, man. Then I left a whole bunch of comics at home. So I'll go ahead and I will get started here.
All right.
The first one that I've got here is Department of Truth, #1. It's a second printing. I've also got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Jenica, #1. I've also got Swamp Thing, #11. I've been looking at trying to complete a Swamp Thing run, which is kind of hard right now.
That's an homage to the cover 1 right there.
To the cover 1.
To his first appearance.
Or to House of Secrets 92. Yeah. So, if I can't have House of Secrets 92, if I can have that one.
That's pretty cool.
And how many was that?
That's 4. You got one more to go.
4. I've got one more, and it's going to be Catwoman.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You did that like a champ.
Thank you.
Like you've been here for years. Uh-oh, Bob.
I can never fill Bob's shoes whatsoever.
Right. Let me go ahead and pull up my first 5 here. And you can go ahead and grab those. And I think I got 5 books here, right? Yeah. Okay. So, a little bit of everything, really. Spawn Universe #1. That came out this week. We all know that. Pretty excited about the launch of that. This one is the King of Nowhere #4, the variant, which is pretty cool.
That's beautiful. I loved that book last year.
I did too. This is the Alienated #5. This is also the Virgin variant for that one. Mm-hmm. This is my Something is Killing the Children #12, the one I had signed by all the people that visited us at the Comic-Con last weekend. And then this one is a little heavier, so I'm just going to hold it right there. This is Dreadstar, the paperback, the new book by Jim Starlin. So it's very cool. So it's going to make that thing fall over, so I'll just set it down over here. But did you want to see inside of it?
Yeah.
Here, look on the first page.
Did you get it signed?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got it signed.
Oh, very nice. That's very cool.
Very cool. He signed it. He did a little drawing for me and everything. He's a good dude. Look at that. Beautiful. Good guy.
I heard that Jim Starlin is allergic to metallic markers.
I don't know. I didn't ask him.
Yeah.
Next time I will.
I feel like there's an Infinity Gauntlet joke in there somewhere, but I can never come up with one. So.
Good enough.
Yeah.
I'll take it. So there you go. That's our first 5, brought to you by Bird City Comics. We're going to move on to our topic right now, and our topic is actually influenced by Jennifer. Like I said, she's really into independent books, and our topic is pretty much about what are some of the best independent books that are going on right now, and what are some of the ones that are overlooked. And Jennifer, do you want to go ahead and go first?
Yeah, so the first comment here is from Gray, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Sheer Holt and Silver Coin. Excellent horror series, and I heard it just expanded from 5 issues to ongoing.
So there's a bunch of these type of books going on right now. I know you're aware of them. Silver Coin's one of them. Ha Ha's another one. The Ice Cream Man. It's these books that are about, like, they're one and done stories. They're literally, that's it. That's that one book. Silver Coin, 3 books out right now, or 3 or 4. Every issue is just a one shot. And so with the Ha Ha, same thing. 4 or 5 books. The Ice Cream Man, really every issue, even though it's the same character, it's a different story plot going on for every issue. I kind of see that as a trend right now. Are you enjoying that?
I really am, and I think that a lot of those series that you mentioned are horror series,
yes.
And I feel like the horror genre fits that pretty well, especially considering that for me, sometimes horror comics land, sometimes they don't, and in a one-shot or a single issue, there's not too much to build up. You can just consume it and then, go along.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, I like the horror stuff, but like example, like Ha Ha #4 was just about that old lady. It wasn't really a horror story.
No.
I mean, there wasn't anything. I mean, compared to like Silver Coin #2, when it was like the girl finds the coin, she goes and kills everyone in the forest or whatnot. That's a little more horror. I like the fact that there is a little bit of variety because, like I said, with the old lady, there's not really too much scary about that, but it's in the same tone of kind of a mystery type thing. So I would put it in that category. But the horror genre in general, like you said, really does lend itself to the one and done. You don't need to go too far into that. Now, that being said, when I read Ha Ha #1, I was like, man, I can't wait till number 2 because I like number 1 so much and I wanted it to continue. But it didn't. That was it. We were done. And there was so much good stuff in that story. It's almost like a double-edged sword because it is good, but it ends. And I love a good ending, but a good story could go for many issues. Did you find that as well?
Yeah, especially like you said with issue number 1, the character, and I think that when it comes to Ha-Ha, the horror of it is more of the tragedy of the stories and the tragic backgrounds that the characters are going through, and especially in issue number 1 of Ha-Ha, the main character goes through a lot of tragedy, and you sympathize with that character, so I definitely wanted to see more. But, you know, we've gotten old ladies since then, a lady clown,
a mime. They didn't say any words or nothing like that?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite issue of Silver Coin so far?
The 3rd issue, the issue that came out last week.
I didn't get a chance to read it.
Oh, really? That one by far has been my favorite issue of the series.
Was the coin prevalent in this one? As compared to number 2, it really wasn't. Yeah,
so the issue number 3 focuses on a group of young adults, kids who go and rob someone. The gentleman ends up dead. The house burns. Spoiler alert. The house burns down. And then there's a really kind of creepy moment at the end where someone who was involved with that. So to me, it felt the creepiest.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I heard about it was like a home invasion gone wrong. Is what they were selling it as. Yeah. I'm behind on my books. Yeah. I'm so behind. It's crazy.
I find that I have to read my books every Wednesday. If I don't read them Wednesday night, then I'm usually not going to read them. Yeah. All
right, you got the next one as well from Logan Lumpkin.
Logan Lumpkin says, my current favorite are The Scumbag, Department of Truth, Geiger, Noctera, Firepower, The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, Carmen, and Ice Cream Man. However, Something is Killing the Children still reigns.
Now, he likes a lot of stuff.
That was a lot of stuff.
Those
are a lot of favorites.
He just listed like the top 10 independent books that there is. Not to mention he likes the Marvel and DC as well. But there's a couple things on here. I know one that you really enjoy, the Layla Starr. Is that your like ongoing favorite right now?
That is my absolute ongoing favorite, and I really love Ram V as a writer. All of the books, you know, there's a couple books that he's doing right now, and all of them seem to be my favorite. I'm a big fan of Swamp Thing, and I love this run of Swamp Thing, The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. He's also doing Catwoman, and his book Blue and Green was my absolute favorite book of last year.
Yeah, Robbie likes it. Robbie picks that every week, or every time it comes out. It's his pick of the week. He's also was gonna do Radio Apocalypse, but that got delayed, and I had an exclusive for that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had an exclusive cover that was an homage to David Bowie.
Oh.
And it was awesome looking, man. And then it got delayed for like 6 months, and I was like, we kind of had to let that one go because other stuff kind of came up. But he's an interesting writer because there's so many interesting writers right now because that are doing mainstream titles and they're doing the independent ones, and they're just as good.
James Tynion.
James Tynion, exactly. The case in point. Literally, he's got the number 1 DC book. Plus, he's got another couple other DC books. The Beautiful Lake House, whatever it's called, or something like that. The new one.
Last House on the
lake, or something like that.
Yeah.
Then go hang out at the lake house or something like that. But then he's got Department of Truth, and he's got the Something is Killing the Children, and a couple other Wind as well, I believe. So he's got like every bit. I don't know how he has time to write all this stuff, to be honest. But really, it shows his range because it shows. Here's Batman, the most well-known character that there is for the DC universe, besides maybe Superman. But as far as popularity goes, it's always kind of been Batman. And he's knocking it out of the park, along with these other indie books that he really loves doing, and he's knocking it out of the park on those as well. That can't be easy to do.
No.
But he's doing it. And now your Ron V guy, which I know you like that guy, is kind of doing the same thing. He's writing Catwoman. He's writing the Swamp Thing. I think he just did a Marvel title as well, if I'm not mistaken, or he just did part of one. I think it was part of that Carnage, Red and Blood, or something like that. And then he has his other independent titles as well.
And now that Donny Cates is not writing Venom, he's going to be taking over Venom with Al Ewing.
Yeah, so he's got a full plate.
Yeah.
How they manage writing all that, I don't get it. But they do it.
I can barely read all of it, let alone write it.
Monthly titles. I noticed the one thing that the ones that they do the monthly titles. They don't do the twice-a-month titles, which I don't think they could handle it, to be honest. But honestly, Logan's list of stuff there was pretty good. Yeah. All right, I got the next couple here. This one is from Anthony Gross. He says, I'm really enjoying Shadow Doctor. The story and art have been awesome. I've also been enjoying Eve and Win as well. Okay, so mentioned Shadow Doctor. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite book out right now. And I really enjoy it. I've talked about it plenty of times. You guys have heard me talk about it. But this is a story that I told my mom about it. And she doesn't know comics or anything like that. And she's like, that's a comic book? I go, yes. And that the look on her face, seeing that, hey, this comic book is about a doctor who was, back in the 20s or whatnot, he's a black man. And he went to school to become a doctor. He couldn't get a job in Chicago. Nobody would give him a loan. No one would give him a job because he was black. So he ends up going to working for the mob. And it's a true story about this. And the guy is telling his son on his deathbed before he dies what he did when he was younger. And my mom's like, that's not a comic book. I go, yes, it's a comic book. It's literally the writer is the relative or the grandson or great grandson of the doctor and stuff. And I go, it just goes to show you that the range of comic books now are not like put my cape on and jump over a building. Mm-hmm. It's this stuff. And when I told her that, she's like, I told a few people that same story. And they were like, that wouldn't be a comic book. I go, your impressions of a comic book are way different than what they should be. Yeah. Because there is stuff like that out there all over the place that people can enjoy. I didn't know what I was getting when I picked that book up. Mm-hmm. I read a little blurb and said, oh, that's interesting. And I was like, man, I felt like I was sitting at the bedside listening to the guy explain what he did when he was in his 20s. Mm-hmm. You read it, right?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Once again, pretty much the same as you. I love it. It's one of my favorite titles. And to your point about what maybe mainstream people think comic books are, and the independent comic books that we read, to me, those are usually the titles that I find that I recommend the most, because you don't have to read 60 years of backstory to understand a character or to understand what's going on. You can simply pick this story up and enjoy it just as much. Yeah, very much so. I think it's only a 5-issue series. The next one is the last one, which I'm sorry it's coming to an end because it's great. Mm-hmm. I hope they do volume 2, but unfortunately Aftershock doesn't do that a lot. Yeah. But it's been a great story, and it's obviously something that you could see. It'd be easy translation into a movie. For one, it's a true story. That's the main thing about it. It's a true story written in comic form, and it really, like I said, it really happened. And just the way it's laid out, you can see it coming, and you can see the evolution of the guy, the decision when he decides to join Al Capone, because that's who he's with. He's with Al Capone. When he decides to do it, and he's like hesitant, but it's the only way he can become a doctor. And then he's on the verge of saying, no, I don't want to do it, because he's helping the gangsters survive. But then he's able to help people in the city that don't have health care. Mm-hmm. So it's a trade-off. What do you do? Where do your line? One thing is allowing you to do what you want to do. If you cut that off, you're probably not going to be able to do what you really want to do. So he has that dilemma. And I think that's what we get to see played out in issue number 5 when that comes out. So it's awesome. Yeah. I love it. It's a great. If you're not checking out Shadow Doctor by Aftershock Comics, thank you, Aftershock. Let's see. I got the next one here as well. This one is from Kaiser Joe's. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I get them wrong all the time. The Recount and By the Horns by Scout deserve some shine. Okay, let me just talk about Scout Comics really quick. Scout Comics is a sponsor of the show, so thank you very much, Scout Comics. If you want to get their books, the easiest way to do it is subscribe to their box. They have a monthly subscription box. It's all their books that come out a month, because my shop doesn't get Scout Comics. I don't know why. I've tried it. I don't know if it's because they switched to Lunar and they just haven't realized it yet. But very seldom do I ever see Scout Comics on the shelf. So if you want to get Scout Comics, just subscribe to their monthly box. They ship you every title that they put out that month, like 11 or 12 books, and you don't have to worry about missing out, because I miss them all the time, and I miss out on brand new stuff. Mm-hmm. And like the Recount has been on my pull list for like all 4 months it was out. I never got it. Not once. And I finally asked, I said, should I go somewhere else? He's like, probably. I'm like, okay, man, whatever. I guess I will. But they were honest about it. Yeah. And they really couldn't give me any reason why I didn't get any of their books. But you name it.
Scout title after Scout title. I never saw any of them in that shop. What shop do you go to?
So I typically go to Books with Pictures here in Portland, and sometimes I'll go to Excalibur as well.
That's the fancy place right there, that Books with Pictures, right?
Mm-hmm. I love. Shout out to Katie and Nick. They
all
are
nice
great.
And clean and nice, fancy.
Yeah. And maybe so Scout Comics. We mentioned that I'm from Florida. We mentioned that I'm from Florida, and Scout Comics is actually based out of Fort Myers, Florida, where I used to live. So I had been to their headquarters and met some of the people there, and they're absolutely great.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Scout Comics is maybe on my radar a little bit more. But I definitely have some of their titles on my pull list, like Gut Ghost is one of my favorites. It's kind of a weird one. I also really liked Yasmin from this last year. Canopus was another really...
Canopus?
Canopus.
Canopus?
Canopus.
Oh, it's Canopus.
Yeah, Canopus.
I don't know. I never saw it. I remember seeing the title.
Yeah.
There was one like some guy likes to live on the farm.
Frank,
That was like the name of the book. Was like
Frank at Home on the Farm.
Frank lives at home on the farm. Mm-hmm. They've got some weird titles.
They do.
The one that I wanted so bad was the one that was actually based on Oregon, and it was something about
North Bend, was that it?
Yeah, and it was like something don't vacation or something like that. I can't even remember that, but it was like 11 words or something like that, and it was based out of a town in Oregon or something like. I never saw it. Anyway, Scout Comics, if you want to get them, just go to their website, order their box. It's easy, unless you guys don't have a problem. Like I do.
And you have a code for Scout Comics.
Yeah, that's 10%. I think it works on the boxes. I'm not sure.
Got it.
If it doesn't, it works on all the other stuff. But it's easy. I actually like the premise of, we're just going to send you all our books once a month. And there you go, you get them all. And I think they give you a variety of, if they have variants or whatnot, they just give you a variety. But it's just an easy way to get them and not have to worry about it. So we're going to be reviewing that box eventually as well.
Nice.
We got a couple of them coming. But yeah, Recount is one of my favorite books. Never was able to buy it. My LCS had to go, literally had to get it from Utah. My buddy in Utah sent me like 2 copies of it. Wow. But, and that book was great. Did you read that one?
No.
It's about government and like... They just this party doesn't like the other party, and they just kill everybody. It's literally like there's this group that's going to kill anyone and everyone involved with this certain candidate. Even if you voted for that candidate, they're going to kill you, and it's that dark.
That's a little bit too real.
Yeah, it's like we're going to kill the whole cabinet, but even if we're going to find out who voted for you, and we're going to come and kill you. So anyway, but they are making another volume for that. Volume 2, they're on. We're going to do, so it should be interesting.
I think the writer for that one is Jonathan Hedrick.
Yes.
Hedrick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's I've met him. He said he's a good guy. I asked him. I go, is this political? He goes, no. I go, how could you not be political? He goes, it's not. He goes, I get it all the time, but he goes, I'm not trying to make a point. I'm just having fun writing the book. I go, okay.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. You are up next for Starbrand.
Starbrand says, my only picks for the indies that need attention are Stray Dogs, even though it just ended, Homesick Pilots, and some Vampirella.
I didn't like Stray Dogs. I'm a cat guy. Inkblot. I like Inkblot.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't like Stray Dogs. You liked it, didn't you?
I did. I'm also a cat owner.
Yeah.
If you can really own cats, but I really enjoyed Stray Dogs, and the final issue just wrapped up. I do think that Stray Dogs was one of those titles that was sold as Lady and the Tramp meets Silence of the Lambs, and I think it fell outside of that, but I still really enjoyed it.
Did you see this one? You see that one?
I did see that one.
Look at that one. That's the Bird City exclusive Stray Dogs number 5. That's not bad. Here you go. That's another present for helping me out today.
Thank you.
Look at that. That's pretty cool. I actually got 2 copies. We're going to be giving away the other copy of one of the preview videos.
There you go.
Since I didn't buy any of them or read any of them, I'm not going to keep any of it. So I'm just going to give them away. So
it was a great series. I think that this one is the reason why, once again about independent comics, the reason why I feel like I recommend independent comics the most is because they're unique stories, and that's definitely a unique story.
It looked like a Disney book. And I just couldn't, I'm sorry, I just couldn't get into it. I heard time and time again, oh, it's so good, it's so good. I just couldn't do it. I just had flashbacks of going to Disney movies with my kids. I was like, I don't want to do that.
It gets dark. It gets pretty dark.
I wouldn't know. I didn't go for it. Anyway, sorry, Stray Dogs. I know I'm going to make some people mad, but it just didn't do it for me. What were the other two ones on there? Homesick Pilots. I read the first one of that. Vampirella. I've never been on board with too much Vampirella stuff, to be honest. Yeah. I got a couple here and there, mainly the cosplay covers, and that's about it. But that's not because of the book itself. It's just the cosplay covers.
I don't think too many... I mean, some people may be reading those, but I think the draw is definitely the cover for those. But I liked Homesick Pilots a lot.
That's about the band? Yeah, that's right.
And I think that right now there's a little bit of this love for nostalgia for decades, and maybe Stranger Things gave us some nostalgia for the 80s, and Homesick Pilots is definitely giving us the 90s nostalgia.
Cool. Yeah, I think I got number one somewhere. I got to revisit that one. All right, you got the next one as well from Billy Haney, I believe.
Billy Haney?
Yes.
Serial by Terry Moore is a great indie comic book and clearly needs more exposure as you have never even seen it after 5 issues.
I've never seen it.
I have seen it, and I read the first 2 issues,
Was it good?
Then I liked it, but not enough for me to get it again.
Yeah.
I think maybe I needed it to be a little bit more colorful, and the
That's
interiors were black and white, so I think that's just me. I need a little bit more, something that grabs me, and it was a pretty good story. There were some intense moments, but I'm not going to pick up the single issues, but I'll probably collect it when it gets traded.
Isn't like the girl like a 40-year-old person or whatnot, like a killer or something like that? Yeah. Here's the thing. I read the caption for this book when it was coming out. It sounded really interesting. I've never seen it. I've never seen any of the issues at all at my LCS. I looked at a couple of LCSs and they didn't have them as well. And this would have been a series I would have liked to read because it sounded interesting. The premise of the book sounded good. I didn't like that it was in black and white when I saw the pictures or whatnot. But the premise was good. But I'm missing... There's so many independent books right now that I end up missing just because my LCS doesn't get them. And that's a little bit on them, but it's a little bit on me as well. I have to do a better job of ordering them and being up to date on those books. And I think if you're looking for books like this, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Is your LCS pretty good at getting a majority of independent books?
Yeah. I think that Books with Pictures, they definitely curate. They skew a little bit more independent. But I definitely think there's a little bit of that, like you said, there's that give and take where you do need to rely maybe on your LCS to let you know what's coming out. But then, now granted, if I have a week where I'm buying less than 20 books, it's a light week for me, so I end up just kind of buying whatever. But I do tend to go through previews whenever the new stuff comes out and just have a heads up on what's coming.
Yeah. And now... on the video I do, the review video, or the preview video that comes out a week before, that's not enough time to order books. If you want books like that, you need to do the FOC. I don't do a FOC video. People have asked me to do that in the past, and that's basically a video that's like 60 days ahead of time before the books come out and stuff, and that's when you can order them. The preview video, if you haven't ordered them by then, there's a good chance you are not going to get those books because they've already been ordered months in advance. So those previews are just to show you what is coming to the store or possibly is coming to the store. All right, I got the next one as well. This is from Jeremy LaCourte. He said, a title I'm really enjoying from Image is Philadelphia. Awesome story with a unique twist of vampire lore. Very cool artwork, and it's been optioned. I'm not sure why this title isn't more popular. As always, thanks for the great content. Well, thank you, Jeremy. So Philadelphia is a vampire book. And there's a lot of vampire books right now. Can you think of a few?
Vampire the Masquerade, which is published by Vault, which is based on the role-playing game.
They got another one, too. It's like all bright colors and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of it, but it's got like, it looks like a 80s type looking thing. I don't know the name of it, but whatever. But just the vampire in general, I kind of like that stuff, but really, and we kind of hit on this earlier, the horror market is just exploding right now. And there's so many horror books, and I would put vampires in the horror market as well.
Yeah, for sure.
From horror comic books, what are some of your favorites?
Philadelphia is definitely one of them. I've had the opportunity to interview Rodney Barnes, the writer, a couple times, and
Nice.
really great guy. So Philadelphia is definitely one of my favorites. Loving Swamp Thing, which is as horror as I think that DC can get.
Sure.
Department of Truth I would put up there with a horror book. Bitter Root, also a little bit of historic horror. Yeah.
What's that other one? Obviously, we've talked about Silver Corn. We've talked about Somebody's Killing the Children, Ha Ha, Ice Cream Man. These writers really like writing horror comics. I mean,
I like reading them.
Yeah.
Give me more horror comic books because I'll buy them.
Yeah, and there's also Antarctic Press has literally comics that are called horror comics. That's what they're called. So those are another books I don't find at my LCS, but I wouldn't mind. But there's been a Tumnal. There's another one. Stillwater, you can put that one on there. There's so many ones that kind of teeter-totter on the edge of being a horror comic and sort of like a regular comic book. But really, I think they have that horror taste to them. And let's not forget, I mean, they were independent books, but the ones that Stephen King's son did.
Joe Hill, with the Hill House imprint for DC.
His Hill House imprint for DC was like 5 or 6 comics long, and they all did pretty well.
Yeah.
They were all received. Unfortunately, they haven't gone back to that, which I don't understand why.
Yeah.
But all those did well. I mean, I know a lot of people checked them out and read them and liked them and stuff, and they all had a good start, ending, and start, middle, and ending was all really good. And, he's got, like, writing in his blood and stuff like that, with his dad and everything. Yeah. But I think the horror market is one of those that is just, it's just right on the verge of just exploding and bringing more and more people back into comics. And the best thing is that the writers really enjoy it. They like, Tinian likes putting horror elements into Batman. You can see that. You can see his little tweaks and stuff he does to Batman to make it a little more creepy. Because he likes the creepiness, unless he's doing a wind and that's something different.
Yeah.
But he enjoys that kind of thing. And honestly, I didn't think I liked horror books as much as I do, but I do. I'm a big fan. I look at my pull list and I'm like, half of them will probably be horror books. And my number one is Ice Cream Man. That's probably my favorite. And he wrote. He also wrote, not James Dean, but Maxwell Prince. He did the Nowhere Man or something like
King
that.
of Nowhere.
King of Nowhere as well. I love that series as well.
Yeah.
I showed one of the books here a little bit ago. But is there any other horror books on your list?
As far as independent?
Yeah.
Man, thinking about my pull list right now, I feel like I'm drawing a blank. But, I know...
You get everything. I've seen your books.
I do. I feel like I do get a little bit of everything. Half of it isn't even on my pull list. My pull list is kind of slim, and everything else I let my my.
Are you a sucker for a new book?
I am.
Are you like,
with some exceptions.
Are you a variant buyer too?
I am a variant buyer. So not only
You're a mark.
Yeah, not only do I have to buy like every single new book that's coming out, if I can get a variant cover, it's kind of a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. You like that Berserker book?
I'm buying it just to read it.
Because the shiny cover?
Yeah.
You get the shiny ones?
Of course, I get the shiny ones, and I get anything that Boom does right now.
That's awesome.
We were talking about Something Is Killing the Children, and I think that Boom right now, any of their number ones, even if you don't like the story, I feel like is a good investment.
Yeah.
I'm not a comic spec person, but I think it's a good investment. Yeah.
There you got them, just in case.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, I got the last one here as well. This is from Mr. Rock and Roll. My two favorite indies right now is Space Bastards and Scumbag. Both great books, with from what I've seen at least, little or no mention of these anywhere except maybe your channel. Nice House on the Lake, although not an indie, also looks to be like another outstanding comic. All these could easily be made into a movie or TV series, in my opinion. The last one was by DC Comics. The Last House on the Lake, that's the one we were trying to think of. That one is by Tinian as well. But the other two, the Space Bastards and the Scumbag, those are raunchy books.
They are.
And I love them. I mean, I'm not like a pervert or nothing like that, I'm just, sorry, but I'm just saying. But, they're fun. Yeah. I read them because they're fun, and every now and then I like a little bit of fun in my comics. I don't take it seriously what's happening in the Scumbag, I think in the latest one, he's now going to have a planet full of scumbag children or something like that. The Space Bastards is all about mailmen competing to deliver the mail in space. It's just nuts. It's corny. It's raunchy stuff, like the old Benny Hill stuff back in the day. And it's just kind of fun. And I like little outlets like that. And they're both really good quality books. I'm pretty sure you've read Scumbag, right?
I have, and I do not like Scumbag.
You don't like it?
I have a very. I'll go ahead and say this. Once again, I'm not a pervert, but I really like.
I said the same thing.
I'm not I'm not squeamish.
Yeah.
I am, I can handle like sex and violence in my comics. I enjoy that. Yep. However, Scumbag, I didn't love. I think that first issue where he shoots up and then just
crapped on the sidewalk.
It's all over the place. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
But I do like those sort of wacky, out there type of books, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you learn anything, neither of us are perverts, right?
Yeah.
Self-proclaimed non-perverts here. There you go. Anyway, those two books, I'm a fan. They're both on my pull list. I enjoy the Scumbag one just for what it is. Like I said, it's just it's light. You don't got to think about much. And it's just kind of, it offsets some of the other stuff that you really have to pay attention to. Like if you're reading the other one he mentioned, what was that? The Last House on the Lake. Mm-hmm. You really got to read that story. There's a lot of stuff going on in there to kind of know what's up. The Scumbag, you can just look at the pictures and be like, I get it. And the same thing with the Space Bastards, and that's by Humanoids, I believe. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the same. It's not as raunchy as the Scumbag, but it's in the name. I remember going to see in that movie Superbad. Okay, remember that one? Okay, mm-hmm. So let me tell you this little story. So I'm sitting there with my buddy, and then this mom comes in with her two younger boys, and they're 12 years old. And we're sitting there, and we're in a scene, and if you guys saw the movie, there's tons of scenes in that movie that are inappropriate for a 12-year-old boy. And she's getting all mad. And I sit there, I go, what did you expect? It's called Superbad. Mm-hmm. You thought it was something good? It says it right in the name, Superbad, And she got all offended that she actually left. She took her kids and left. And me and my friend were like, okay, whatever, It's right there in the name, Scumbag. It's right there, and you know what you're going to get. You know
exactly what you're going to get into. And, as far as I know, movies are typically rated.
Exactly.
I don't know if Superbad is rated R, rated PG-13. So if you think it's rated R, you should know what you're getting into.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like we have the Comics Code Authority around anymore to tell us, put a little sticker on Scumbag, not approved by the Comics Code Authority.
Oh, they love it. They'd be all over it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our topic there today, brought to you by Black Box Comics. You can go to their website, enter the code Bueller, save yourself 10% on all their books. So there you go. It's blackboxcomics.net. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next segment. And our next one is we got to bring the other dude in here. He's from all the way across there, Alabama or something like that.
Wherever he's from.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at Robbie's Pick of the Week.
Hey everybody, I'm rockin' Robbie Billups from Pop Culture Philosophers. Just found this interesting little creature on a space station. They called it a tribble. Shouldn't be too much trouble. Anyway, you're checking out the all-new Coffee and Comic Show, and my pick of the week is...
Wasted Space number 21 was Robbie's pick of the week. I don't know anything about it. I've never read any of the issues, all 21 of them. Yeah. I haven't read. Have you read any of them?
No,
I haven't read any. So apparently Robbie's pick... It's all up to Robbie. So if he picked it, apparently it's good. We're going to take your word for it. I don't know what to say.
I think that pick was wasted on us.
That's pretty good. Anyway, so that's Robbie's pick of the week. But we're going to go back in time because we missed last week. So what we're going to do is we're going to go do the pick from 2 weeks ago when Robbie's pick last 2 weeks ago was The Many Deaths of Layla Starr number 3. So Jennifer, you have the envelope over there. and Jennifer's going to open the envelope and see. There's actually my pick in there and Bob's pick.
Ooh.
So we'll get to see if either one of us got it right. Go ahead and take a look. It's been sitting there for 2 weeks.
It's been sitting here. It is signed, so we know that it's official.
That's right. We don't mess with that stuff. All right. I can't even remember what I picked.
Yeah.
I don't know what Bob picked. I never even saw what he picked.
Sorry if I'm just destroying this envelope.
That's all right. I got a whole box of them.
So.
All right. Let's see. What did I pick?
It says Time Before Time #2.
Oh, God, I got it wrong again.
And I also do see here, Bob picked Many Deaths of Layla Starr.
Bob got it right.
Yeah.
Damn it. His first time out. I'm going to hear about that.
Sorry. I'm glad I was here for it, though, because Many Deaths of Layla Starr would have been my pick as well.
That would have been your pick.
Every week that it comes out is my absolute favorite.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, so I am like 0 for 6 on this. Mm-hmm. That's the first time Bob is picked, and he gets it right in the first time. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the wrong person is doing the pick.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't even know what's coming out next week. We don't have a show next week, so I'm not even going to bother next week. Yeah. Anyway, that's the pick. I got it wrong again. I didn't win $100. Bob wins $100, but we don't have anyone sponsoring this.
Yeah.
So we haven't found out where to get the $100 from yet.
Is it just Monopoly money at this point?
Maybe we're hoping you could come up with something.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Hey, there we go, Bob. Hit her up. Anyway, I got it wrong again. I wasn't even close. I don't even know if you like that book. Did you read the Time Before Time?
I did. It was pretty. It's interesting. It's up there with the books, but it gets a little bit convoluted.
Yeah.
So
there you go. All right, so that's it. A big fail on my part yet again. Our next segment is Honest Comic Book Mystery Box Reviews. This is where we look at a mystery box, we review it, and we tell you whether it's any good or not. And luckily I had Jennifer here this week, and she helped review this box. So let's go ahead and start going with that one. Let me pull out these information that we have. And I'll have Jennifer kind of put some of the books up there so she kind of show you guys what is in the box. And we'll have some graphics on the screen, and it'll show you how much they're worth and stuff like that. But Jennifer, if you just want to show those, kind of rotate them a little bit, it'd be great. And then I will tell you guys what this mystery box is. So this mystery box is the TFTV space comics mystery box on Instagram. This box is $25 plus $6 shipping, and I believe it is a medium mail is what it was shipped. This was shipped to a friend of ours, Joe, which goes by Spydor Web, spelled SPYDORWEB on Instagram. So thank you, Joe. He sent this box to us. He actually ordered this box and then sent it to us, and we'll send it back to him. But we grade on a few different categories. Let me tell you guys what we grade on first. We have a grading system with, flip this over, we have packaging, we have monetary value, we have condition, we have non-monetary value, did it deliver, and extras and bonuses. So we both sat down, we both used the same form right here. Mm-hmm. Jennifer did it for the first time. Yeah. I've done this a couple times now. And Jennifer, here, I'll let you hold on to that so you can see what you scored it, because I haven't written down here. The first thing is packaging and shipping. And I gave it a 9 because it did come in a brand new box. It was in a brand new mailer, Gemini mailer, and it was within about $2 of the shipping cost. That's why I gave it a 9. Jen, what did you give it on that one?
I also gave it a 9.
9 for the same thing, pretty much? Yeah.
Same thing, yeah.
It's pretty easy to score that when you see the material that's coming in. It's, there's not really you're not going to get a big difference unless somebody sees something different about a box. And the box is the box, so it's very cool. It even had a little stamp on it that had their logo and everything on it as well. The next thing is the monetary value. And the monetary value I look at as, we're going to go ahead and do the price of the box and the shipping, because people have asked that, is it just the price of the box and the shipping is extra? We're just going to combine the two. So the total price was $31 to buy this box, to put it in your room. I gave it an 8. Because I saw it about 10% less than the shipping combined cost. Just some of the books that were in there, there was nothing really major books in there. I think there was one maybe around $10, but most of them were around the $3 to $2 range that were in that box. Mm-hmm. So if you add them all up, actually let me take a look at the back of that really quick. I think I wrote some down. I think the highest one was $6 and the lowest one was $2. But after you average that all out, it came out to be $28.50, and you paid $31 for the box. And so it's about 10% less value. So I gave it an 8. Did you give it the same thing?
I did. Pretty much for the same reason.
Yeah, that's another easy one to figure out because we just add up the total. If it's not there, it's not there. The next one is conditioning of the books themselves, the bags and boards. Also, I look at that. I gave it an 8. Some of the bags and boards are a little bit older, I noticed, and some were newer. The books were fine. You know, they were pretty much near mint, but there was a few other ones that are a little lower grade, but not tremendously low. For me, they're fine. I wouldn't have any problem with them at all. But there would be some people who would pick a little bit and kind of lower the grades a little bit. And then, like I said, some of the bags and boards look brand new, and then some of them you can tell have been there for a while. There's different tape on the back. There's one tape in the middle. There's 2 tapes on the thing. There's painter's tape on one. So you can tell they're from different ages, and some of the boards are faded. So for that reason, I gave it an 8. What did you give it for that one?
I gave it a 7, pretty much for the same reason. Maybe just the inconsistency with the tape, and like you said, some of them had 2, some of them had 1. I probably, if all of them had the same tape, maybe it looked like all of them had new bags and boards, I probably would have given it at least a 9.
Yeah. Now, when I'm last week we did the Box Heroes one, and literally every bag and board was a Mylar and a full bag, and the tape was their sticker on the back of each one. That is like going above and beyond. That's why we gave that one an 11.
That one goes up to 11.
It was because it was literally like $1.50 per book. That's how much it would cost to get those bags and boards for those. So my hat's off to them. But seeing this, I mean, these are fine, but obviously if they took a little time and rebagged the board, they'd get a higher score. The next one on here is non-monetary value, and this one can have a different grade depending on who grades it and stuff, because it's pretty much what we're looking in the box. You know, what do you find in there? Are there number ones? Are there main characters? Are there starts of story arcs or stuff like that? Variants, all that type of stuff we look for. It does have a few number ones in here, and I'm kind of showing them again, and but it does have some like annuals and stuff like that are just kind of I mean, they're not the best of things, you know, and stuff. And I would much rather have liked them to be the actual runs in the series instead of Green Lantern Arrow Annual 4. I'd rather get just a regular Green Arrow book, or Amazing Spider-Man Annual 24. I'd rather get Amazing Spider-Man book in the run or something like that. So for me, non-monetary value, I gave an 8 because there was a little bit of filler. I put about 20% filler, which was in there. What did you give it for non-monetary?
I also gave it an 8. I do think that there was a nice blend of books. So there were books that came out a couple of weeks ago. So for instance, Future State Gotham is a book that came out within the last month. But there were also books that were a little bit older. So definitely that up in the air mystery. You really don't know what you're going to get. It did have some number ones, and I think that there were 1 or 2 variant covers. But the books, like you said, like the characters in the books and maybe story arcs, there wasn't anything that was too exciting there.
Yeah, there wasn't really too much to jump onto and go from there. Like I said, the non-monetary value is a little more subjective to the people reviewing the box, so you might get a different score than we would on that one. The last one is, did it deliver as advertised? What I did, I gave it a 9. Pretty much for what it was, the $25 plus the $6 shipping or whatnot, $31. It was as advertised. I mean, you got some books, a variety of books. Some things, like I just said about the non-monetary value, I would have changed a little bit here and there. Like I said, throw in a regular Spider-Man book or throw in something else. But for the most part, I gave it a 9, which is as advertised with maybe one exception. And that's really about it. So what did you give it for did deliver?
I gave it a 10. I think that when it comes to, I'll be honest, when it comes to mystery boxes, I have not been excited about almost any of the mystery boxes I have ever gotten. So I think that my bar for them is still kind of low. I never really expect too much, and I would say that if I paid $30 for those books, that would probably be what I'd expect to get from those books if I went into the comic book store and got them. So
yeah, the Iron Man one in here is the most expensive one. I think it was like $6 or $7, and there's a couple brand new books. I think this one right here is one of the newer ones, and these are still cover price in the store, like stuff $3.99 or $4.
Yeah.
So like she said, it give you a little bit of variety, give you some older stuff, some new stuff, and I thought it did okay. I mean, like I said, I gave it a 9. As far as bonuses go, and this is just added points, they did have there's an asterisk on this, to be totally honest, because I mean, we got a bonus. I don't know if it's supposed to be part of the box, though, to be totally honest, but we're just going to throw it in because I don't think it's normal. They did get like a graphic novel for The Walking Dead and a Ghost Rider book as a bonus as well. And actually, the graphic novel and the bonus book are worth more than what is in this box. So it's a little, I don't know exactly if that's what's supposed to happen. So I just want to put that, the regular box that's advertised is this box right here. It doesn't advertise the bonus stuff that came with this gentleman's box. So I don't know for sure what to do with that. But when you go to their Instagram and you look up this box, this is the type of thing you're going to get, because that's what's. It doesn't say anything about a bonus. Doesn't say anything about extra stuff or whatnot. It just says this box is $25. You get books like this, and you pay $6 shipping. So there's a little bit of asterisk right there, but it is what it is. So as far as the overall score, let's see. We got it written down here. What do you got on there?
So for me, I think that my total score was 44.
44 was mine.
Yeah.
What was mine on there? Okay, I gave it a 44 as well. So total 88. So the grade is a B. So it gets a B, and almost close to a B plus. B plus would have been an 89. So I mean, they're just right on the border, and really that 1 point can be subjective, no problem. But I thought it was a decent box. I mean, we're noticing with these boxes what your expectations are in these boxes. Are you expecting to get keys? Or are you just expecting to get a bunch of books that just add up to the value of what you paid for the box? I think a more realistic expectation is something like this, to where you're going to get a bunch of books like this that add them all up, and they're very close to the value of the box. I don't think that mystery boxes right now are going to be like 1 or 2 books that are $20 each or $40 each, and then a bunch of dollar books or whatnot. I could be wrong. We haven't seen those yet, but this is kind of what I've seen so far. Is just kind of a bunch of books. You add them up, and it equals that dollar amount. So you go from there.
I agree. I think that's why they end up being mystery boxes, because these may not be books now that people are going out and looking for.
Yeah.
Right now, maybe with the exception of the books that are on the shelf for whatever reason. But I think that's why these are mystery boxes, is because it's the stuff that maybe you would find in a dollar bin, and maybe it is $2-3. But I think that you may not. The one kind of thing about these is that you may not find a key in this book right now. It may not be a key now, but who knows? One of the books that you get in a mystery box may be a key 2 years down the line. So that's me specking, but not specking.
And, I was telling her earlier, I've sent out Something Is Killing the Children #1s in my Bueller boxes 2 years ago, just because I bought a bunch of them. And I got a bunch for cheap, and those are they're now worth $1,000 or whatnot. I don't know, but it does happen. You never know. Or it could go the opposite way. It could be worth $6 now and worth $1 a month from now. So you never really know. But this is let me tell you about this box one more time. It was TFTV _ comics on Instagram. That's where you can get this box. They have a few available right now. I just checked. They just posted a brand new round of boxes. They're $25 plus $6 shipping. So do me a favor, if you like this box, go check it out. See if it lives up to this one, if it gets a similar grade. All of the grading parameters that we use is in the description, so you can see exactly what we use to grade the box. So you can grade it just print it out and grade it yourself and see if it's the same thing. We were going to do the Spider-Man Ruth box, but we're backed up. We've got like 6 boxes, and I don't want to be sitting on people's boxes, and that because this gentleman would like his books back, and we're only doing 1 a week. So we kind of pushed the Spider-Man Ruth box, because the person who bought that said we could keep the box. So we pushed that one back. We put this one forward so I can now send this back to the gentleman who sent it to us. So we're kind of running into that problem. So if you're thinking about sending us a box right now, don't, because we got a lot to go. And once we get those kind of caught up and stuff, then we can ask for more either donations or kind of how we're doing the system. But that's our review. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool new segment.
It is very cool. I look forward to it.
Yeah, it was something. Somebody said, "Oh, your new segments are taking the time of the topic." I'm like, well, we can only talk about the topic so many times because we've got 127 issues or episodes of this show. Yeah. You're gonna repeat some topics every now and then, so we're looking for more stuff to fill the time of the show. Mm-hmm. So we came up with this idea. So it worked out pretty well. Anyway, that's our mystery box review brought to you by Scout Comics. You can go to their website, enter the code Bueller, you save 10%. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And the next one should be interesting. This is the Was It Good segment brought to you by Comics on Coffee. And I just want to say real quick, and I forgot to mention this earlier, they have a golden ticket thing going on right now again. And I think you probably remember last time. If you go to their website, buy any coffee or anything or whatnot, you get entered in to win the golden ticket. And it goes till the 30th. The end of the month, the 30th. So we got a few days. What you win, and this is kind of funny, this is what you win, but not this one. She has one just like it. And I only have 4 slabs, and for some reason I had that. It's Batman number 21, signed by James Fabric and Tom King, but mine is not signed by Tom King, but hers is. Oh. Hers is signed by both. Mm-hmm. So it's a 9.8, same book, but better because it's signed by Tom King as well. So anyway, you just go to their website, you buy some coffee, you're automatically entered in to win this slab right there. It's the golden ticket. Very so nice. Not bad. I said, I had that book. She's like, what? I go, yeah. I go, I have 4 slabs. That's one I have. So I can just show it right there on the show. There you go. Crazy. Not bad. So buy coffee and enter it in to win a book. All right. Anyway, they're bringing in this segment to us. It was a good segment. And here we go. Actually, let's take these down. This is going to be fun. All right. Are these your books right there?
These are the 3 that...
All right. Let's see how Jennifer does with this. Yeah. You've seen this segment, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Here's your first one. Sword number 6. Jennifer. Yeah. Was it good?
It was good.
All right, you want to tell us?
Yeah. So, I feel like, yes, it is good to someone like me who is currently reading X-Men because right now we've got the Hellfire Gala going on. Spoiler alert, but last week we got Planet-Sized X-Men where, mutants are terraforming Mars. And so this is the kind of the next installment of that.
Okay, your next one right here is another one that, Stray Dogs number 5.
I know. As soon as you said earlier, like,
hey,
I'm
Jennifer,
not liking it.
Hey, Jennifer, you're doing what Bob does.
Sorry.
Was it good?
It was great. So
jumping the gun.
I am.
That's all right. That's all right. Bob's been doing that last couple of episodes as well.
So I am a good fill-in for Bob then.
There you go.
Yes, I think that Stray Dogs is great. This was the final issue. I believe that we're going to be getting maybe another series for this. So I'm excited for that. But the first arc of Stray Dogs was good.
Very cool. I'll take your word for it. Mm-hmm. This last one is Fantastic Four Life Stories number 2, the 70s. Mm-hmm. And Jennifer, was it good?
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me about it.
So, even though this is a safe place here, right? Like, I can be honest.
Sure.
As someone who named their...
Nobody's ever asked me that before.
First here. So, as someone who named their YouTube channel after a Jack Kirby quote, I can actually really honestly say that I do not like Fantastic Four. I'm not a big fan of Fantastic Four whatsoever. I kind of picked Fantastic Four Life Story up on a whim. Mm-hmm. Loved the first issue. I absolutely loved the first issue so much. This book is doing what Spider-Man Life Story did a couple of years ago, and I've really been enjoying this. Yeah. Read the second issue. It was fantastic.
Nice. I read the first one. I thought it was pretty good too. It's not by Chip Zdarsky, who did the Spider-Man one. I thought he was going to do this one, but I was wrong. But the first one was good. I haven't read this one yet. I'll probably give it a shot because it's pretty much just going through the Fantastic Four's history with some tweaks a little bit, and they do it, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and 90s. And that's how it goes. So I thought it was pretty cool. I actually thought that was going to be Robbie's pick of the week when it first came out because he's a big Fantastic Four fan. But I got that wrong as well.
Can't win them all.
There you go.
Or any of them.
There you go. So anyway, that was your Was It Good? So now it's on your plate there. Let's see how you can do this.
Okay.
Okay.
So
you watched the show. You know how it works.
yeah.
Let's see here.
So the first one that I have here is Chariot by AWA. Upshot number 4. Bueller.
Yep.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Did I do that right?
You did a great job. It was great. Have you read this?
No.
It's about this car, and there's like a pink lady robot hologram that's part of this car, and I'm pretty sure the dude, the main dude, is like having coitus with the car in this one, but I don't know if it's just a hologram or if he's hugging that tailpipe or something. I don't know.
Tailpipe.
But anyway, it's a fun book. There's one more to go. This one is pretty much just about the car's lady relationship with the dude and how she thinks he's wonderful and stuff like that. And apparently she shows it. But it's been a fun book. It's interesting. You might want to check it out.
As soon as you said it, there's like a hot pink car and there's a lady robot. I was like sold.
Well, it's not even like it's like a hologram lady.
It's a hologram lady.
Yeah, but she's like part of the car. I don't know. It's like the Kit car, from Knight Rider, but instead of the Kit talking to you from the car, it projects this lady that used to be the owner of the car, but they've like combined or some. I don't know. It's a spy car. It's interesting, but I'm pretty sure he had sex with a car in this one.
Okay.
So there you go.
Sold.
Yeah.
Says the two people that are like, we're not perfect.
Yeah, we're not perverts. I didn't write the book. I just read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second one that I have here is Batman Reptilian, issue number 1. This is a new series.
Yeah.
Bueller.
Yes.
Was it good?
It was fun. I liked it. It came out 2 days later than it should have because I would have loved to take this to the con because the artist Liam Sharp, who's doing this book, who definitely has a different style of artwork, very similar. This book looks like Arkham Asylum.
That's the vibes that I got from it.
It looks exactly like Arkham Asylum, and I love that book. I still have my copy to this day from when it first came out, way back in the day. I still have it. It doesn't have the dust jacket on it, and it fell off years ago. But it was a lot of fun. I liked it. It's dark. It's creepy. I would have loved to have Liam sign it. That guy is a cool cat, man. I don't know if you ever heard that. He's Scottish or whatnot. And he was instantly made me more cool as soon as he sat next to me on the show. And we talked to him quite a bit. We talked about this book quite a bit after the show and stuff. So he's pretty excited about it. But I'm on board. It's a DC Black Label. I don't know exactly how many issues it is. But if you are a fan at all of the old Arkham Asylum, and if you don't know what I'm referring to, Arkham Asylum artwork, if you're looking at Department of Truth right now, very similar to that kind of style. Yeah. Maybe not as much line squiggly stuff, but close. And I loved it. I thought it was great. Fantastic.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum was one of those books that got me reading comics when I first started getting into them. So when I saw this book, and I actually didn't pick up this cover, I picked up the other cover where it's a little bit, it looks funner, but this book definitely was very intense, a lot more intense than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
so
I enjoyed it.
Okay,
All
the
right.
last one here for Was It Good? Is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 17. Bueller.
Yeah.
Did we find out what's killing the children? I'm just kidding. Bueller, was it good?
Everything's killing the children. Everything's killing. This is her. This is more of her backstory. Is all it is, and really, not a tremendous amount happens in this one. Have you read this one yet?
I have not read this one, but I did read issue number 16 that does go into the backstory. I was curious to see if we're going to get a whole arc of that backstory.
Yeah, I think you are. What this is, she's going to be going in for some kind of test or something like that. That's kind of, there's like tomorrow you're going to go into a test and see if you can handle this or whatnot. So they're building her up for that. and she's confronting other people. She kicks one guy in the balls, and I thought that was pretty good because he was like giving her a hard time, and she didn't care. She just hauls off and kicks him and stuff. But it's just this one and 16 are pretty much could go right together. There's really you probably wouldn't need to read one or the other, to be honest. It's more the same from 16, and hopefully when they get to the test or whatnot, whatever she has to go through, that should be the next issue, and a lot more will happen in that one. But I thought it was good. It was decent, and but really it's just more of number 16, to be honest.
Got it. So 16.5.
There you go. Exactly. So anyway, that's our. Oh, was it good? So you did a good job there.
Thank you.
You did a really good job.
That.
I don't have a show next weekend because I'm on my family reunion, so we're not going to sit here and tell you what we're going to read next week because I probably won't even pick up my books because I'm going to be really busy, to be totally honest. But this, like I said, our segment Was It Good is brought to you by Comics on Coffee. Go to their website and code Bueller. You save 15%, and you can qualify to get the golden ticket and to the 30th, and you can win this book right there. So there you go, pretty cool. Not this one, but this one. Does that make sense? Not you win this one, but not this one.
Yeah.
The one you win is better because it's got one more autograph.
I feel like there should be a object is not as it appears.
There you
maybe.
go. You know what we forgot to do?
What do we forget?
Our final 5.
Our final 5.
Yeah, because I got books sitting here. I'm like, why are these sitting here?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do our final 5.
Let's do final 5.
All right. You know what? I'll go first.
You go first.
All right, my first one up here is The Walking Dead Deluxe number 17. And then I have Radiant Black number 1, autographed by Kyle Higgins. Saw him at the Comic-Con. Then I have this Ice Cream Man. I don't even know what issue that is, but that is pretty cool.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And then this one was sent to me from Bird City Comics. This is Wolverine number 3, the Virgin one, and Wolverine number 3, the regular one. I love that one. That's one of my favorite covers. I actually, because I don't ask from stuff for them, but I did say, so hey, if you have any of those Wolverine stuff, I wouldn't mind getting one of those. He's like, oh shit, no problem, man. I'll send them to you.
If you just have one happen to be lying around.
Yeah, they're very generous with me, and they send me stuff. So, but really, that's the only thing I've ever asked them for. So, thank you, Bird City Comics, for sending that my way. All right, what do you got?
Okay, making sure that I have 5 here. I accidentally brought an extra one. Speaking of Something is Killing the Children, got issue number 16, Jenny Frisson. And I ended up picking up an extra copy whenever I can find it. The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, number 1, because I love it. I'm going to end up with 100 copies because I love it so much.
Well, if that hits,
yeah,
coming to your house.
Yeah. I also recently picked up Mr. Miracle, number 3. So that was in there. And then wouldn't be a show without Bob. I recently picked up a Daredevil David Mack cover. I really love David Mack, so had to pick that up. And then I recently picked up X-Men 244, first appearance of Jubilee.
Jubilee. Yeah. Awesome. Look at you. Giving Bob some love there and everything. You know, you don't show many back issues on your channel.
I don't.
Because mainly when you do your channel, you're talking about what you read this week in new books. So it's kind of cool to see you pull out some of these older ones, you know. So I appreciate that.
I tend to. You know, I do end up buying a lot of older stuff, but when I talk about books, I'm usually going to talk about the newer ones because they're on the shelf, and I feel like they're a little bit more relevant. There you go.
Well, there you go. That's our final 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. Sorry about that. We totally forgot that segment earlier, but you know we can make it work. So.
Best for last.
There you go. Exactly, and the Wolverine one was pretty cool. So, really, that's about all we have for you today. I want to say thank you to Jennifer for coming on here a little bit. Before we get, we're gonna give her a little bit of attention here in a minute, but real quick, remember the Moon Knight #1 exclusive. First Comics with Bueller exclusive is going to be available for pre-order on July 3rd at birdcitycomics.com, and my Bueller code works on that, so you save 10% off whatever you buy there. Really, it doesn't have to be that. You can buy whatever, and you save 10% off. So throughout this week, I'll get more information to you guys, even the picture of what it looks like and stuff like that. So very cool. Also, be looking for possibly a Rob Liefeld interview this week. I'm not 100% sure, but if it does happen, it's going to happen quick. It's either going to be Wednesday or Thursday. It's going to pop up, and all of a sudden, Rob Liefeld's going to be sitting there like, what the hell is your problem? And that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. But Jennifer, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Tell me about Jennifer and your channel real quick. Where can people find you, and what can they find on your channel?
Yeah, so the channel on YouTube that I have is Comics Will Break Your Heart. I don't do a lot of edited videos anymore. I've done a couple, but I don't like doing them. But I do go live on Sundays with my friend Mars.
Yes.
And we talk about we talk about books that have come out that week, what we're reading. Maybe if one of us does a graphic novel or a trade paperback haul. We also do a monthly wrap-up where we do first issues first, and we talk about all of the first issues, new series, first appearances that came out in the previous month. And we also do a previews preview where we'll talk about books that are coming out that you should be ordering. If you can, order them from your local comic book store.
Nice.
So that's on my channel. I also do a couple of other weekly and monthly shows, like the one that I have on Fridays with Comic Talk Live over on Will the Beast Fitness channel.
You used to be Hero and the Kid.
I used to be Hero and the Kid.
If you're wondering what happened to that channel, he changed the name of it.
Yeah, and then I also do a monthly book club with my friend Dan and Gambit over on Comic Shop News.
Nice. Now you and Mars, you guys don't hold anything back.
We don't.
When you do your, I enjoy their show, and I check it out as much as I can. And if they don't like a book, you're going to hear about it.
We will tell you.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So
we'll tell you what creators we think like the smell of their own farts. We'll tell you about...
that's not what we and Bob do.
Yeah. We'll tell you about all of the characters that we think are pretty neat, all of the characters we don't like, those, books that we just want to set on fire. So.
Yeah. And Mars, definitely, she has a lot of fun.
She does.
Going at it as well.
Yeah. She is definitely the better half of the show, for sure.
Yeah, it's always nice to see them agree on something. When they agree on how much they dislike a book, that's when they try to outdo each other as far as how much they dislike a book. But I found, honestly, the Death of Layla Starr was the whole reason I started reading that book, because I watched it on your channel. And I saw your guys' review and how much you liked it, and I was like, I got to pick it up. Because I remember seeing it, and I just never grabbed it. And I went back to the store and got it because I watched it on your channel.
If I can get one extra person reading The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, it's a job well done.
Yeah. I didn't do it because of Robbie. It was because of her. Even though Robbie tries to, whatever. But anyway, Jennifer, thank you so much. We'll put a link to her channel right down below. And actually, I'm going to have it on my featured page as well, so you can find it there. She's a fellow Pacific Northwester. She lives in the Portland area or the Oregon area, whatever, Not around me, somewhere else or whatnot. But you know what? We're sitting here stuck in this heat wave this weekend. And I want to say thank you for her to coming over and shooting this with us and stuff. And sorry, Bob, that you couldn't make it this week, but you are on your 111th wedding anniversary with your wife and stuff, so you couldn't be here.
Here in spirit.
Yeah, here in spirit. But really, that's about it. I can't think of anything else. Anything else you'd like to say? Or
I just want to say thank you for having me here.
It was. I've been trying to get her here for a while. And she's like, not until you get your shots.
Like, no, well, I said not until I get vaccinated. So now that, I've been vaccinated, so.
She's not the first woman to tell me not until you get your shots. And will not be the last. Will not be the last. There you go. All right, everybody, since Bob's not here, I'm going to do it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.